in this early mid-game fights.
Yeah, and you're going up against something like a Lee Sin, which just has that inherent mobility. If you guys aren't familiar, Lee Sin on mobile lets you safeguard literal air, so you can just go over the walls at any point. You don't need to go for a ward jump. And you're also noticing we are seeing through the player's point of view. So you're always going to see the team that we are currently spectating on the left side of your screen. And I'm also interested, granted, if we're going to actually see any kind of variations in control setup, because that's the one thing that I love about Wild Rift is the fact that you can customize your control scheme so you can move buttons all over the place.
Yeah, that's true. We definitely, it could be quite a big difference. I would say that it comes down to both like settings that you might not really see depending on the champions that you're playing. Because there might be things like percent health targeting, whether it's percent health or absolute low health, right? So that could make a difference going into a couple of these matches. Otherwise, we're looking at a pretty standard start right now. We're seeing TRUESHOT just gonna let the Mastery do his thing, drag us out into the mid lane. You know, again, very tanky, so this means that he's able to survive against the Zed. I don't think that the Zed actually has enough damage to burst the Gragas even after 5. So once he gets to his ultimate, I don't think he has the means to really force the Gragas out of lane.
I see here, it's very simple. All you gotta do is just, again, lay down what you wish for as far as your clear goes with that barrel. It's not using a whole lot of mana. It's a rather safe lane. Let's go ahead, though, and take a look down toward this ball lane. Of course, we have a Frozen Kiss on this Jhin going up against that Vayne lock-in that we saw as well coming out from Malaysia. And we actually see a bit of an invade coming up here, but you do see them going to rotate on over. DX not in a whole lot of safety themselves, and that Lee Sin's going to get taken down. First blood going on over to Team Malaysia.
Big risk coming in from TRUESHOT to look for the engage, to look for the invade against the Lee Sin, and that's something that you wouldn't really expect to see considering how strong Lee Sin is.
Right, that. Also interested to see from Solos too, using that target aiming immediately off the bat. We didn't get to see that. That's another kill going on over to Team Mystic as DX gets caught out and this Lee Sin starting to run wild. Out here by the Lee Sin, we actually saw the Lee Sin pathing up towards the top side of the map, and a lot of members looking for their first back here to get some item buys. Meanwhile, mid lane though, you said it, Grandin, that you would never expect the Zed to have enough damage to kill the Gragas. Well, guess what just happened?
My goodness, bot side also looking like it's going to be in a bit of trouble.
Oh, no.
Coming in from Vayne, flash away from the Jhin. He might get away from this. Actually running in now.
Yeah, you saw there. DX now in a little bit of trouble themselves here on this Master Yi. As, again, checked over the wall, and just like that, ooh, follows on over, and that's the 4th kill over to Team Mystic, and that's also going to be likely.
Impressive showing coming in from Mystic right now. Having that additional pressure, being able to look for a number of these pickups has been so impressive. Now going for the Dragon, they
pre-show was whether or not we were going to see teams try and go for objectives, and already we saw that. The heavy engage coming out here from the Garen. Both are going to go ahead, lay down the slam, the dunk. In comes the Lee Sin though, and that's going to be able to save it on back. It's a 1-for-1. Now the 1v1 in between DX as well as the Lee Sin, and Fredo has the target available. That's a double kill for the Lee Sin as Mystic now up 5 kills in total, 6-1.
This is what you expect from these kind of games where you have aggressive pickups. Bot side.
Oh man, Frozen getting some decent damage there, but not able to connect with the flourish. I was thinking about the current call, but instead opts away. That's going to be the Vayne backing off here, and I guess that's kind of the one little, plus so far across the map for Thailand is the fact that they have not been able to give up. Almost able to find that 3rd shot. Frozen's going to be fine. Meanwhile, into the jungle, DX. Oh, you can already see a little bit of frustration starting to show there, as that's also the Rift Herald being taken.
The fact that Frozen is pretty far ahead, is doing very well in lane.
Yeah, doing well in lane so far, but like you mentioned, will that be enough as they go ahead and they find themselves a Lee Sin? But meanwhile, in comes that Zed. They are able to take down the Lee Sin, but it is a trade 1-for-1.
Lost any lives, they may not gain any kills, but they were able to take away a couple of summoner spells, which should set them up moving forward for this. If Lee Sin doesn't get killed off, Master Yi jumping in on the kick.
Kick gets them back to safety. Meanwhile, you also saw the crescendo coming out, but no, actually, that curtain call was able to land on the 4th blow, and they're actually able to take down the Lee Sin. DX going down low themselves. Fenja looking for the possible play, But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. In comes that death mark as well over onto Frozen Kiss. Frozen Kiss going down low. Not able to finish. See now, Frozen Kiss finishing off the Guardian Angel. So that's a nice pickup. Meanwhile, top lane, you did mention that, Garrett. Unfortunately, Boss going to get taken down here. As that's a rampage now online here for the Zed of Mystic.
Options coming through. Frozen Kiss opts for the Hourglass to give herself a little bit of stasis.
My.
Oh, the Frozen Kiss.
Oh, no! In comes the Kern call, though. Finds one. Can they find the other? Unfortunately, the shots are not going to connect as the Sona is out to sea. We do see the Zed looking for the split push, and that's actually just going to be him trying to actually find themselves back over to safety. Has that Shadow still. Going to wait for it, but still DX able to get that damage. We mentioned this Lee Sin. Not going to be Master Yi can start shredding down towers pretty fast here. Still a bit of aggression coming in. A nice kickback coming out from the Lee Sin, but is going to get rooted up. A nice barrel, though. Going to catch out the Sona. Meanwhile, on the other side of the screen, and that will be a dead port as the Gragas is able to pick up the kill. And guess what just spawned up? It's Elder Drake is on the map here. If they're able to get this Lee Sin to have to go back to base, that could be the objective here for Thailand.
So this defensive item has worked out pretty well in a sense, but at the same time, it also means that there hasn't been all that much impact.
Ooh! Meanwhile, though, Jay gonna get taken down as the Zed is able to find another victim, but like you mentioned, Frozen Kiss, she's able to stay onto the map, but in comes that Lee Sin, able to connect there with the Q. DX going down low, can they finish off the Lee Sin? Is now Mystic, able to find themselves an opening, and now Solo's gonna come back around the corner. Frozen able to get back to safety with the Master Yi, but now this poor Garen is just left to the wolves at this point, as Solo gonna slowly hunt them down, and there you go, it's a killing spree for the Vayne.
Over onto the side of Mystic becomes invalidated. They don't really have that much to do anymore.
Oh my lord, you saw that damage though that just came out, and in comes the Lee Sin over the wall. Can they actually find the kick? There it is! It's actually going to take down one! Almost gets to safety, doesn't even pop the GA, and another safeguard will get them out of there, so it's a trade 1-for-1.
Frozen decision they're going to end up regretting, because that's kind of the situation that TRUESHOT was in.
Oh no.
It's a good fight first though.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Greg is going to get caught out. That's a big disruptor. That's also DX using their ult already. And now DX able to go into the Alpha Strike. Tries to get himself back over to safety. DX ticking low. Able to survive. But meanwhile, the Annie gets taken down. And only 3 members alive here for TRUESHOT, with Mystic on the top side of the map aiming for the Baron.
There is a little bit of an argument to be made about not showing off any of the strategies today, because you're going to have to do so tomorrow anyway, right?
Oh, maybe too aggressive here coming out as the Zed goes down underneath the tower, but the tower is going to get taken down, and now, unfortunately, Jay, in the middle of 4 members, tries to go for the flash. It's not going to happen, and first game of the day, it's going to be Team Mystic taking home the victory.